Hello everyone, Namaste and welcome to day 20 of Yoga for Beginner. Today I've chosen to work on Yin again, and I know we all love Yin resting position. But today we specifically work on joints. So normally we do a lot of heavy work, and all these joints we need to make sure we take care of them. So right now we're going to do a bit of recovery and also some winding down for those wrist joints. Now, wrist joints and other joints. Okay, so today we need a bolster, a friendly bolster, and then we need two blocks and one strap. Now we're going to get started by lying down on our back, grabbing your strap. So let's lie down all the way to the floor and bending your left knee. I want you to straighten your right leg up to the ceiling. So taking the strap and just place it onto slightly lower below the ball of your feet. Okay. Now, instead of just lifting your feet facing up to the ceiling, I want you to slowly flex your right toes towards you. Okay, so you're going to use your hand to pull the strap downwards a little bit to create a bit of a stretch at the back of your hamstring. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you want to feel this Achilles heels, okay, Achilles tendons. So as you pull the feet down, lengthen the Achilles tendons and stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, you're going to flex, point the toes up. All right. As you point the toes up, you want to feel that stretch on the top part of your feet, the connection on that ankle, on the front side of the ankle. And stay here. Keep pointing up for 3, 2, and 1. Again, just flex it down. Maybe you want to use the strap a little bit of help here and pull that strap downwards. Okay. And just feel that stretch. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And inhale again. Let's point the toes up. By now you should feel that a little bit of soreness going on around the ankle area because we're giving it a gentle, I wouldn't call this gentle, but that incredible flex and also the mobility work here. Okay. And now slowly release. And release the strap first away from the feet, still pointing up here and rotating your feet in one direction. Hands open up to the side and just fully relax here. You can close your eyes as you let your feet go round and round in a circular motion. And then we go opposite direction. And whenever you're ready, and just come back to center and use the strap to bring it around the feet again. And this time holding on with your right hand. Okay, and then make sure your left hip is still on the floor and slowly opening that right leg over to the right side. Stay here. So we're going to stay here for about 1 to 2 minutes. If you feel that sort of soreness or if you're tired halfway through, you can always grab a block. All right, and just place it next to your hip. As you go lower down, you can relax that hip right on top of your block here. So if this is just way too low for you, you can always adjust by lifting the block a little bit higher and then slowly lower your legs down and just stay here flexing those feet. Take deep breath and make sure your left hip is still intact down to the floor. Just let the body relax as you open up that right hip here, the right inner hip. Or maybe you begin to feel that opening starts to happen. You want to lower the block a little bit lower. And stay here. And just one more deep breath here. And now slowly lift your right leg back up to the center and release. Bring your right feet down. Okay, let's move on to the left side. So strap it right under the ball of your feet, holding on with your left hand. Now, hands open up to the side and begin to flex the toes towards you. Feel that length from all the way behind your hamstring, all the way up to your heels. Okay, so just keep pressing the toes downward. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. From here, just point the toes up. And now stay here for 3, 2, and 1. One more time. Let's flexing the toes down. Just pull the strap here. Use a little bit of pressure. Stay here. 3, 2, and 1. Let's point the toes up. As you can see, we're working around the ankle. So that ankle joint, just to strengthen it and create a more flexibility effects around it. All right, and release. Now just release the strap here. All right, straighten your arms out to the side and relax, and begin to rotate those ankles in one direction. I want to do it a little bit slower, feeling all kinds of sensation when you're working on this rotation. And then we go opposite direction. And then come back to the center. Last round here. Let's wrap the strap back to the ball of the feet. And maybe this time just bring the blocks all the way to the left side. Okay. And slowly lower your left leg all the way down to the left here, making sure your right hip is still down to the floor. If you find that your right hip starts to lift off, just press it back down and stay here. You can just close your eyes and relax. Feeling that opening the hip. Finding it opening a little bit more every time you exhale. And then slowly come back to the center and release. Alright, let's form into full butterfly. Bring your feet together, bending the knees out to the side here. So you'll find that your lower back starts to lift off, which is completely fine. That is how it should be. Just bringing both of your knees lowering down to the side. Opening the hip here. When you're ready, you reach your arms above your head and then begin to bend the elbows. You want to grab the opposite elbow with your palms and just stretching the shoulders back a bit here. And then just really surrendering yourself down to the floor. And just a few more deep breaths here. And now slowly begin to release your hands. And maybe use your hand to support both of your thighs and push yourself back up. Right. And now from here, roll to your right side and just roll fully. Bring the chest down to the floor. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the mat. If you have come off from your mat, just go back to the mat here. All right. So coming to your half frog pose. So as you slowly bending your left knee to the outside and coming into a 90-degree, making sure your knees and your hip is in the same line and your knees to the end of your heels in the same line. And last but not least, flex the feet out. Okay. And just relax your cheetah, the chin down, or bring the left side of the cheek down to the palms. And just stay here in your half frog. To further open up the left inner hip. This is also really relaxing. And just focus on your breath and how exhaling can deepen the stretch even further. And whenever you're ready, just slowly release your left leg back down, straightening them. Let's move on to the right side. So gently bend your right knee out to the side, 90-degree. Alright, so knees to your heels in a straight line and point the toes forward. Right, so everything is in straight line here. And whenever you're ready, either bring the chin down, or this time bring the right side of the cheek down to the floor. And just relax here. Now if you find that your knees starts to feel really uncomfortable pressing against the floor, you can always use a towel or a pillow to pop right under the knee to just bring a little bit more comfort to your knee. And just few more deep breaths here. And now come back to the center and slowly release your right leg back down. And pop your hands just right next to your chest and push yourself up into your tabletop position. And now from here, you can either use your bolster or use your blocks. So which is more comfortable for you? So I'm going to demonstrate two options. I'm going to first use the bolster. All right, I just place horizontally right in front of you. You're going to place the elbows on top of the bolster, opening up that shoulder joint. Okay, so I just come into your forearm here. Elbows, make sure they are right in the center of the bolster. Now, whenever you're ready, interlace your fingers and walk your knees slightly to the back here and begin to sink your chest just right behind your bolster. Stay here. All right. Now, slowly dropping the head down, lift your hip up and stay here in this puppy pose. And just really relaxing the body down. Now this is your first option. If you find this really comfortable for you, then just stay here. For second option, you can use the blocks. So those of you who are using blocks, all right, just take 2 blocks according to your preferred level. All right, I'm going to start from the lowest level here. So same thing, place the elbow at the center of the block here. So walk the knees back as you continue to push the chest back and open up the chest, open up the shoulders and stay here. All right. And maybe you want to bend the elbows and bring the both palms right behind your shoulder blade here. And continue to open up that shoulder. And just come to the moment and observe the muscles, so also the joints that you're currently opening, that you're working on. And just stay here for 2 more deep breaths. And whenever you're ready, just slowly lift your head up, straightening your arms here, and then release. Walk your hands back. Okay, now place the block to the side. And we're going to work on our wrists. So from here, you just open up your knees out wide to the side, and I'm going to show you the front position. So we're going to stay in your Vajrasana where our hips sitting onto your heels. Some of you may find that your ankles a little bit stiff. So how can we, replace this? So how can we sit a little bit better? So just bring the bolster, place it right between your legs so you can sit nicely on that bolster. Your feet is relaxing on the side. There you go. Now I'm going to sit here so you guys can follow me. So bring your hands down to the floor. All right. So working on your wrists, we have done this in a few videos before, and this is really, really important. So every time when you come to any sorts of push-up or chaturangas, or if you feel any soreness after that, always come to this postures for your wrists conditioning. So turn your right fingers to the right side and turn your left fingers to the left. Okay, as we stay here, we just want to move forward and back, move forward and back. But today we're going to move forward and stay here. Just 5 deep breaths. Making sure your chest passes the wrist. And slowly begin to rock side to side. Really careful on this one, okay? So if you have tendonitis on your wrist or any part of the wrist area, just want to make sure that this is really careful when you perform. Alright, if you feel really painful, and just stay here in the center. You don't have to go side to side, okay? And then slowly come back to center and gently drop the hips down and release your hand. You're going to rotate your wrist in one direction and in the opposite direction. And now this time, placing your palms down. And we're going to turn all the fingers to the back of the room. Okay? So you're pressing the wrist outside. Okay? Just press it down. And then same thing, turn the fingers outside and then face it to the back. And you're exposing your wrist right to the front. And stay here. So if you feel you need to go a little bit more, you need that deep stretch. And maybe you want to walk your palms a little bit more to the front, but always be careful on this. Okay? When you walk, slowly land your full palms down to the floor instead of quickly placing it down. Okay? And then just stay here. Push the chest back until you're nicely sitting onto the bolster or on the floor, your option. And then just stay here. Just 2 more deep breaths. And slowly release. Turn your fingers back to the front and slowly release off from the floor. You want to bend the elbows and straightening them, and just notice, what does it feel like right now? Okay, maybe a little bit more flex. Okay, a little bit more stretched out. Good. Turn up and down, up and down. All right, last one, guys. So this time, placing your palms down, and when you're ready, I'm gonna flip the top of my palms down to the floor. So as you flip, turn your fingers back and then place the back of your palms down to the floor. As you can see, if this is the first time you're performing this, your elbow will definitely bend out to the side. So what I want you to do is create that internal rotation where I press the elbows in. All right, as then my bicep will slowly turn out to the front. Okay, so how far does the bicep go? It really depends on how flexible this muscle is. All right, just right on top of that arm here. So if you're really flexible, you can go all the way. The bicep is exposing towards the front. But if it's a really tight, your bicep might not be exposed as much as they should be, but don't worry about it. We're concentrating on your wrist. Okay, so bring the left back palms down to the floor, and remember, just push the elbows in and turn that bicep forward as much as you can. Okay, so either stay here, or if you want a little bit more, just walk to the front and turn again. Walk to the front and turn again. Okay, now and stay here. Once again, 5 deep breaths. Really concentrate on those wrists. You might find it really awkward looking down at your wrist. How did it bend like this? But human body works in a very magical way. So always take every moment to explore and see how it benefits your body. Am I right? Just 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly release one hand at a time, all right? So not ready to press full palms down yet because you still want to release that tense, all right? And then slowly lower the full palms down. Wonderful. And then come back up. Just rotate that wrist one direction at a time. All right. Now, let's come into your full frog pose. So for full frog pose, I need you to pat your kneecap, okay? So if you find that your knee starts to feel a little bit pressured against the floor, I want you to just pat a pillow or maybe a cloth underneath. But what I normally do, I will fold my mat, okay? So I'm just going to release here, folding my mat into 3 parts, okay? Make sure you're folding it horizontally, okay? 1 and 2. Okay. So now it's padded, we can get ourselves ready for frog pose. So how do we get into frog pose? I'm just going to demonstrate to you from the front. So you might need a bolster for this one to get yourself comfortable, okay? You might feel the stretch, so at least there's something to comfort you. Am I right? So from here, palms just right above the bolster and then knees above your hip. So just like your all fours position. So if you can't see my knee, I'm just going to move this here. Okay, so pretend there's a bolster here. So we're going to walk that knees out to the side. Okay, so just keep walking like how we did earlier, like in our half frog pose. But this time we're performing with both sides of the legs bent. So keep going and lower the hip down. Okay, instead of pushing the hip back, I want you to maintain that hip on top of your knee here. All right, align with the knee. So if this is the maximum you can go, you can slowly bring your elbows down either onto the floor, or you can bring the bolster back here, okay, and just place the bolster right below your elbow and just really relax here, okay, finding that 90-degree of that hip to your knees, straight line from the knee to your heels, and finally the heels to the top of your toes. It's a straight line as well. So really stay here in that frog pose, opening that hip, finding that creating that length, opening space between those joints. Okay, and just continue to breathe. Try not to think of the pain, but in fact think of the benefit. Think of the beautiful stretch that you're creating right now. And just feel more deep breath. And whenever you're ready, and just gently lift your head up. Okay, and then place your hands down to the floor. Push yourself up. Okay. Now you can bring the bolster to the side. Bring the knees in. And just gently sit on top of your heels and just rotate. All right. And last one before we get into our Shavasana, let's unwrap the mat first. Okay, now let's come back to the mat. And now from here, we're going to lie down on our back. Place the bolster once again horizontally. And making sure that the bolster is placed right below the chest. And exposing the chest to the ceiling. Opening your arms out to the side. If you need some support for your head, just pop a block or maybe even a pillow under your head. And just stay here. Just continue to breathe. Can hear. You can hear or not? Alright, whenever you're ready, you're going to slowly come down to your Shavasana. If you feel really good in this position, you can continue to stay here and use this pose, use this position in your Shavasana. If not, just slowly bend both of your knees. Right. And just roll to the side first, push yourself up, remove the bolster or any sort of props that you don't want it to be there, and just roll yourself back down again. And come into your Shavasana pose. And just allow the body to rise and fall itself. Let the body relax even further when you exhale. And maybe your body begin to feel very light instead of heavy. And just find that very lightly floating off from the floor. And just right before you drift off even further, place your right hand over your heart center. Left hand on top of your abdomen or your belly. And allow your hands to guide your body to stay grounded. And assuring yourself that whatever happens yesterday, today, or the future, everything will come in order. And just let the present does its work. As long as you know that you are breathing, you stay in present and you stay very aware and mindful of everything that you do. Begin to feel the the feeling, the sensation with your palms gently touching your chest and also your abdomen. Feeling safe and assurance. And if you feel that you need to straighten your arms, go ahead and do so. If not, continue to place those hands where they are, your chest and abdomen, if this makes you feel comfortable, feel safe, and feel grounded. Go ahead and stay in your preferred Shavasana. If not, you can follow me and join me to slowly release your hands down to the floor, wriggling the fingers and toes. Now, if you still have a bolster placed right under your chest at the first option of Shavasana, you can slowly roll to your right side and just gently push yourself back up to seated. If you have your full body down to the floor, I want you guys to just bend both of your knees, just maybe rock side to side just a little bit. Then slowly roll to your right side and gently push yourself back up to seated. And keeping your eyes closed, letting the body sit up in your cross-legged position. Settling the body down. And once again, place your right hand to your heart center and place the left hand to your abdominal. And just to observe that light movement in your body as you inhale and exhale. Staying in this position and also sending gratitude to everyone around you and even including yourself. Join both palms to your heart center and begin to humbly bow down. And namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Such a magical practice today. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for that perfect meditation. And have a great day, guys. Namaste.